and subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Right, there's a video out, and Deontay Wilder's in camp, of course. He's preparing for Tyson Fury on December the 1st. And on seconds out, this particular video, of course, I'll put it in the description box for you guys to click on it and have a watch of it. And this particular point for this video here, it starts around about 7 minutes 50, 7 minutes 55, that kind of area, where he says that the UK fans don't like him because he's dark-skinned. If he was white-skinned, light-skinned even, then it would be a different story. So there's kind of like the first one, which kind of is a bit of a head-scratcher for me because there's so many people that here in the UK like American guys, like Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, until the rape scandal, of course, Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, you name it. The list goes on and on and on of American guys who are dark-skinned, right? But yet he says that, yet again, he accuses UK fans of being racist. Again, him giving excuses as to why his failures are. So, go give it a watch. As I said, it's around about 7 minutes, 50, 55, that kind of area. Give it a watch. Now, I'm in a pretty good place where I can comment on this because I live in the UK. I see things from all walks of life in the UK. I don't just live in one area. I've been all around the country. So, firstly, for Wilder to say that the UK fans don't warm to him like they do with Joshua, is because he's a dark-skinned man. First of all, that is a blanket statement. Blanket. So, everybody in the UK who don't like him is because he's black. That's absolutely ridiculous. And maybe him saying those kind of things, not for the first time, could be one of the many reasons why UK fans don't like him, because you call him racist unfairly. That could be actually one of the reasons. But to be fair, he has said the same thing about his own country before in the past. People in his own country don't warm to him, don't give him the credit that he deserves. He calls himself an icon, a living icon. Have a word. Have an absolute word. Okay, but people in his own country don't like him because he's a black man. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But you know what? There are people in every country, in every corner of the world, where you will find racism in every country. In America, in the UK, in Africa, in wherever it may be. There is racist towards black people, towards white people, towards Asians. There is racism everywhere. So to say that the UK is racist, that's being racist, really, isn't it? Some people hate other people for religious reasons. Whether it be Christians hating Jews, Christians hating Muslims or Hindus or whatever, and Muslims hating Christians and Muslims hating Jews. There are sections of people who don't like other people for their religious background, such as there are certain people who don't like people for their skin tone. And I like to believe it's a minority, because I don't see this kind of thing here in the UK. I don't see it. I've seen bits of it, of course, and especially on the news, I see bits of it as well. I've seen people who have written to the authorities and had protests because at Christmas time, there's a Christmas tree in their town centre or their city centre. And they want the Christmas tree taken down because it's offensive to them. So people have all kinds of reasons to hate. And yes, some people in the UK may not like Wilder because of the colour of his skin. A very, very small, weak-minded people may not like Wilder because of his skin tone. But the same people who don't like Wilder also don't like Joshua. They don't like Dylan White. They don't like Kell Brook. They don't like Amir Khan. They don't like David Haye. So it'd be the same people who don't like Wilder for that reason don't like these people for the same reason. So again, a blanket statement is ridiculous. I mean, one thing that America has that we don't have is the Klan, the Ku Klux Klan. Isn't it still living over there? Isn't it still breathing? Isn't it still doing quite well over there? We don't have that here, or as far as I'm aware, we don't. But yet, UK is racist. Unbelievable, really. And we don't have hoods. We don't have black on black crime like over there, or at least not on the same level. Do we? We don't have gun crime. We don't have that kind of thing. But yet we're racist. Here in the UK, we're a racist country. Again, like I said, not for the first time that he said this. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, people will use religion, they will use racism as a way to, paper over the cracks of their own failure. As in, all races do it. I've heard white people saying that they can't get a job because that company needs more black people, or they need more Asian people. Black people say they can't get a job because they're black. Asians can't get jobs because they're Asian. People will use this kind of thing. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, or has never happened. I'm sure it does. But legally, it shouldn't happen. But some people just use it as a way for, I didn't get out of bed and I didn't go for an interview today because I don't think that company wants me because of my skin tone. People have used that. But, I mean, UK is racist. Yeah, didn't that song, Buffalo Soldier, you all know that one? Stolen from Africa, brought to America. It didn't say stolen from Africa, brought to the UK, did it? No, it didn't. It said brought to America. But you know what? As I said before, racism is illegal in the UK. It doesn't stop everybody, I agree. There are a very, very small minority. And the kind of racism things that I've heard are not actually from white people to black people. It's to Asian people, to Pakistani people. And again, unfair. It shouldn't happen at all. But no, racism is not alive and well in the UK. It's alive, but it's not well. It really isn't. And thing is though, he says that, yet black people in America don't like Wilder. So how is that even relevant? There are plenty of black people in America who don't like Wilder. They don't agree with him. They think he's a fraud. He's a liar. He's a coward. But yet that's called being a coon, right? I've heard people call other black people coons because they don't support everything that other black people do. But for me, I think if you're calling other people a coon for having their own opinion and not basing it on racist or racism, as in they're not siding with somebody just because of their skin colour, if you're calling them a coon because they're not allowed an opinion, then really you are the coon. You are the one who is a coon of life in reality and is no good for society. Everybody should like certain fighters, certain football players, certain baseball players or whatever, just because they like them, without skin colour being even part of it. Or dislike someone without skin colour being part of it. But if you judge people based on skin tone, then you are no good for society. You are in fact the coon. I mean, Wilder talks like he wants equality for all races at times. But yet, other times he kind of gives the impression that he hates white people. He just doesn't like them. But yet, the very next day, only a couple of months ago, wasn't he buck dancing for the president? I'm sure that's what he was doing. Thank you, Mr. President. Shake your hand, Mr. President. Hello, Mr. President. Can I do anything else for you, Mr. President? Would you like me to drop my pants for you, Mr. President? Wasn't he doing that? But as I said, a small section who don't like Wilder here in the UK because of his skin tone, and it is a very, very small amount, people, will also not like Joshua. They won't like Dylan White. Dylan White was born and pretty much raised in Jamaica. He didn't come to the UK until he was 12. Yet people love Dylan White here. Frank Bruno is a British legend here. So is Nigel Benn, the Dark Destroyer, Chris Eubanks Sr., Lennox Lewis. It's ridiculous. But yet a lot of people who, are so-called racist, yet Tyson Fury is not as popular as maybe what he should be. Oh, sorry, that's because he's gypsy, right? You see, there's always a reason for it. There's always an excuse why. People can't just say, people don't like somebody because they don't like them. Because of their attitude. Because of the way they conduct themselves in life. It has to be racism, right? It just has to be. It can't be anything else. It really is. But again, here in the UK, now, as I said before, Mayweather is loved in the UK. Mike Tyson, prior to his rape scandal, was loved in the UK. Mike Holyfield, it's pretty Christmas coming up. It's Evander Holyfield, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Joe Fraser. The list goes on and on and on. These people are loved in the UK. Tommy Morrison never was. He never was. Triple G and Canelo, not popping in the UK. They're popping in America, but they're not popping here in the UK as much. Now, I know that Wilder's brother, he lives here in the UK. I don't know whereabouts. I don't really care, to be honest. But for me, I think that Wilder's probably getting a lot of this information from his brother. And in fact, I'm pretty sure I've heard Wilder saying this, that his brother tells him that UK is pretty racist. But yeah, if his brother really believes that, very, very simple. If you don't like somewhere, if you feel unsafe, go back to America. If it's that bad. But for me, I think Wilder's brother's lying to him. Maybe his brother isn't running a very successful business. So again, one of these people using racism. Well, I can't get on because I'm black. Well, maybe you can't get on because you can't get on because you're useless. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe. I don't know. But, I mean, here's a question for you all. What white boxers are popping here in the UK, are really popping, have ever really popped? Did Carl Froch ever really pop? Did Joe Calzaghe ever really pop in the UK? There isn't too many white boxers who have really popped. But I can tell you a whole load of black fighters that have. A whole host of them. I mean, I'll probably say that more people, more boxing fans in the UK like Joshua more than they do Tyson Fury. Yeah, he's pasty white. As I said, Carl Froch never had the popularity of Joshua. Joe Calzaghe never had the popularity of him. Even Prince Nassim Hamed never had the popularity of Joshua. But again, I mean, is that because what? Oh, sorry. I've heard this reason before. Because he's the slave of a white master, Eddie Hearn, a black man doing what the white people want him to do. I mean, that is absolutely outrageous to say that. Absolutely outrageous. But again, I mean, maybe him and his brother, who again is coming across as quite racist, going by what Wilder said in the past about his brother, maybe they're saying this because of the whole Brexit thing. Because the UK voted out of the EU, out of Europe. Why? Again, people have their own reasons. Some might be because they're racist, they don't like foreigners. That was probably the reason for some people. Other people, it's a case of, well, Europe is headed by Germany. UK can't do anything without Germany's permission. So it's like, no, we want to govern ourselves. So again, that is one of many reasons why people opted out. Hence the reason why Brexit is going on. But could it just be, Wilder, that people don't like you because you are a rival of one of our guys? You are a rival of Joshua. You are a rival of Tyson Fury. You are a rival of Dylan White. That's maybe why you're not popping here in the UK. Or could it just be because you're a knob? That's probably the real reason for it. Because of the way that you conduct yourself. We don't see you as a real man, a warrior. We don't see you like that. Maybe people just don't like you because you use racism in a negative way rather than a positive way to erase it from a historically racist sport. Historically, boxing has been racist. Look at Muhammad Ali and all the crap he had to go through. Look at Jack Johnson, all the crap that he had to go through. This is 2018, man. Racism shouldn't even be part of it anymore. And if it is alive, it's because people like Wilder are keeping it alive. But he's in a position where he could probably change it, but he doesn't want to change it. I mean, if he really sees racism as a real big problem in America, and he wants to keep it alive, well, maybe Wilder should spend a week in the non-tourist parts of Africa. Let's see how well he gets on over there. And I'm pretty sure it might make him appreciate what he actually has. So actually, things ain't that bad. I mean, I don't know how bad Tuscaloosa, Alabama is. Is it still ridden with racism? I have no idea. But as I said, maybe he should try and spend a little time over there in Africa in certain parts. They will treat you like a bitch. Straight up. And I don't know, I mean, maybe people just don't like Wilder because of his racist slurs towards Joshua and Eddie Hearn and Dylan White. Dylan White is just a spare black tire for Eddie Hearn. Anthony Joshua is the slave of the white master of Eddie Hearn. These are the kind of things that he comes out with, and then his little bucktooth little followers go, yeah, that's why, yeah, that's why. Maybe people don't like you because you come out with crap like that. But for me, I'm pretty sure that the real reason the UK and the US don't like you is because you're just a fraud champion and you're not a warrior like a champion should be. A champion is supposed to be fighting the best, not making excuses as to why fights don't happen, because that's all you do is make excuses. It's because I'm a black man. It's because other people don't want me. I'm the most feared. No, you're not. Stop lying. You have opportunities left, right and centre to earn a whole heap load of money and become undisputed heavyweight champion in the world. Take on the best out there. But guess what? You've never done it. There's a reason for it. People see it. Maybe that's why people in the US and UK don't like you, because they don't see you as a real champion. But you know what? Luckily for you, there are a lot of weak-minded people over there who do believe in you, who do believe you are trying. And yeah, they're weak-minded. But you know what? The bottom line is, in truth, the UK is probably one of the most friendliest places on earth, from all races, from all backgrounds. And I don't want people listening to this clown. And that's exactly what he is. He's an absolute clown. I think part of it is, as I said, it's papering over the cracks. He wants to use racism as a reason as to why he hasn't progressed. He hasn't done very well. He's not popping. He never popped like Mike Tyson did, or Evander Holyfield did, or Muhammad Ali did, when racism was really bad. And yet he was still popping way more than what Wilder does. Before internet, before people can talk about him, people had to rely on newspapers. Couldn't really talk to each other about fighters. But yet Muhammad Ali was popping in a time when racism was bad. And Wilder's just using it as an excuse because he sees boxing as racially motivated. He still does. Because he doesn't know about the history of the sport other than he liked Muhammad Ali, he knows about Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali went through racism. Maybe Wilder has experienced some kind of racism in the past. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, he's using boxing as a platform for it. He still thinks boxing is a racially motivated sport. And if people do still believe that, then you're watching the wrong sport. Maybe it's time you start watching something else. Times have changed. Time to step forward. Step into the light. Boxing and racism should not go hand in hand anymore. And people like Wilder are keeping it alive. Don't listen to that fool. Don't listen to him. Anyway, there's probably plenty more I could probably say on this one, but I don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm probably just going to leave it as it is. So, no, Wilder. People don't like you not because of your skin tone. They don't like you because you're a knob. Because of the things that you say. Because you accuse UK people of being racist. Because you're not stepping up. You've always got an excuse. That's why people don't like you. And in fact, there are plenty of people here in the UK who do like you. Who do support you over Joshua, over Dylan White, over Tyson Fury. Plenty of people. When you went to Belfast, here in the UK, Northern Ireland, you got swamped by fans. Autographs, pictures, selfies, you name it. I've never ever seen you have that in America, ever. I've seen you walking down New York before, and nobody knew who the hell you was. I've seen that. But here in the UK, people were actually asking for your autographs. I've never seen you smile so much. But yet, UK is racist. UK people don't like you because you're a dark-skinned man. What an absolute jackass clown. Anyway, drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.